Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And a lot like yesterday, it was a gorgeous day today. This beautiful shot, thanks to our Sky-Fi Tower camera at Wenatchee Heights East is where this one is located, and lots of blue sky out there today in the Wenatchee Valley. Temperatures very mild all over the region. And it's, speaking of mild temperatures, these were our predicted high temperatures today. Don't know if we officially got to these readings yet, but take a look at that for mid-March. 62 possibly in Wenatchee today, 65 for Spokane, also north up around Deer Park, about 65 degrees. Moses Lake at 64. We'll have to wait and see if we actually got to these predicted high temperatures, but boy, what a beautiful day all around north central Washington for March 20th. The question now is, will it last? We'll talk more about that a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Preliminary estimates for Chelan and Douglas County show the average annual unemployment rate fell from 5.1 to 4.8% between 2017 and 2018. But first, we begin tonight. A Kittitas County Sheriff's deputy was killed and another police officer injured in a shooting Tuesday night in Kittitas. The suspect in the shooting was also shot and later died at Kittitas County Valley Hospital. Killed was 42-year-old Kittitas County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan Thompson, a Washington State native who leaves behind a wife and 3 children. 22-year-old Kittitas police officer Benito Chavez was also critically wounded in that shooting. Thompson responded to a report of a road rage driver in the Badger Pocket area of Kittitas County at 7:30 p.m. The driver led the deputy on a chase into the city of Kittitas, where at the end of Pierce Street, the suspect exited the vehicle and began firing at Thompson and Officer Chavez. Thompson died of his injuries at the hospital, and Chavez was airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where he is listed in satisfactory condition. At a press conference this morning, Kittitas County Sheriff Gene Dana, Kittitas Police Chief Chris Taylor, and Ellensburg Police Chief Ken Wade all spoke about the fallen officers and where the investigation goes from here.
This is a tragedy. Officer-involved shootings happen too often across our country, but almost never here. The last fatal officer-involved shooting in our county happened 92 years ago. And the last officer to die in the line of duty from this sheriff's office was over 60 years ago. Again, I'd like to thank all of the responding officers, EMS, and hospital personnel that worked last night and continue to support us. Our community has a very heavy heart today, and last night we lost one of our finest.
Officer Chavez was a fresh reserve in June of this year, of 2018. I hired him on as a full-time entry-level officer in July. He went through the Basic Law Enforcement Academy in September, graduated January 29th, and started working for our agency full-time. He's a respected officer. He's a 22-year-old man who provides this community with the protection it deserves. I would like to reach out to him and his family. Our prayers, thoughts are with them while they struggle through this.
This has a tremendous impact on our law enforcement community, not only locally, but across the state and across the nation. The Ellensburg Police Department has been asked, at the request of Sheriff Gene Dana, to conduct the criminal investigation or the investigation as to what occurred. And that's with the assistance of the Washington State Patrol. We began that investigation last night. What I can share with you is just a snippet of what actually occurred. I would appreciate your cooperation and understanding that this is an ongoing investigation. It's in the very early stages, and so there's a lot of information we have yet to collect. Detectives are actively working on several leads, but we want to assure the community that everybody is safe.
Chief Wade and the Ellensburg Police Department is leading that investigation. Preliminary estimates for Chelan and Douglas counties show the average annual unemployment rate fell from 5.1 to 4.8% between 2017 and 2018. This 4.8% reading for 2018 was a historically low average annual rate. However, monthly rates have started to creep upwards. The not seasonally adjusted rate elevated 1/10 of a point between the Januaries of 2018 and 2019 from 6.9 to 7.0%. Meanwhile, the non-farm labor market provided 1,300 new jobs between 2017 and 2018. That's an increase of 2.9%, more robust than the state's 2.6% job growth rate during 2018. Between the Januaries of 2018 and 2019, the number of non-farm jobs in Chelan and Douglas counties rose by 500. That's a 1.1% upturn. Coming up next, Chelan County PUD proceeds with plans to build 4 new substations to meet future growth in the Chelan, Wenatchee, Cashmere, and Leavenworth areas. County commissioners from across the country met in Washington, D.C. earlier this month to support full mandatory funding of payments in lieu of taxes. And the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival needs your help. We'll tell you how. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating has been serving North Central Washington for 34 years. Arctic provides the finest heating and cooling air quality products for residential and commercial customers, along with prompt and professional customer service. Arctic also offers specialty services like custom sheet metal fabrication of ductwork, coil cleaning, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Arctic is available for emergency calls 24/7. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back. In another news, Chelan County PUD proceeds with plans to build 4 new substations to meet future growth in the Chelan, Wenatchee, Cashmere, and Leavenworth areas. Commissioners were presented with an update of those plans at Monday's meeting. The Utilities Distribution Director, Chad Rissman, says today's substation standards include a lot of new technology.
But we were hardwiring everything, so everything required a copper wire from the information that it was going to collect to the receiver, then to go to system operation. Today, that wire doesn't exist. There's a blue hose, I like to call it blue hose, but there's an Ethernet connection that is connecting up all of these intelligent devices. We have the capability to collect tens of thousands of data points from each one of these locations now. It's all sitting there ready.
Rissman says using 2-acre sites rather than 1 acre gives room for advanced monitoring, switching, and metering equipment. It improves safety and offers the ability to install additional capacity to meet growth. He said the new site standard will guide land purchases for future substation locations.
We want our footprint to be a little bit bigger. This is showing Walla Walla substation that was built 2008 timeframe. And we were moving down that path where you can tell we've got a future slide in here that we want to be able to build another substation inside here. So we're using the same footprint, utilizing the same property. And I think we've heard sentiments like that from the board. Let's acquire the property that we need in order to expand and meet the future needs. So this is an example of that, but it's also an example that we think we not quite there yet in terms of acquiring the needed square footage for what we think might be our ultimate development plans within the station, making sure that we can meet tomorrow's reliability expectations.
PUD officials say work is on track to start building the OMI substation north of Wenatchee this year. New substations in Leavenworth and on the north shore of Lake Chelan are set for construction next year. They add that growth in downtown Wenatchee led to the need to enlarge the Wenatchee substation on Worthen Street. Construction is targeted for next year. PUD staff also is focused on finding a location for a new substation near the Chelan Dam and for one south of Wenatchee towards Malaga. County commissioners from across the country met in Washington, D.C. earlier this month to renew their plea to Congress to support full mandatory funding of payments in lieu of taxes and a long-term solution for the Secure Rural Schools program. During the National Association of Counties Legislative Conference, House Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers voiced her support during a news conference at the Capitol.
PILT is also an important commitment from the federal government that must be continued. In 2018, rural counties in my district received $4.5 million in PILT funding, and it really helps them provide those services that are so important to the people who live in the rural areas. Our rural counties need the certainty, and that's why I'm going to join Derek Kilmer and so many others and all of you in doing everything we can to provide that long-term certainty that is so desperately needed for those that are living in rural counties all across America. And thank you all for being here today. Thank you.
Counties such as Chelan and Okanagan counties benefit from both the PILT and Secure Rural Schools programs. With public lands in their jurisdictions and counties often provide critical services on those lands, including law enforcement, search and rescue, fire management, and emergency medical services. The U.S. Department of the Interior makes PILT payments to over 1,850 counties in 49 states. Over 85% of Chelan County is publicly managed lands, and the annual PILT payment comprises about a third of the county's total operating budget. The Wenatchee State Apple Blossom Festival needs your help. To celebrate the 100th Apple Blossom Festival, next month they're bringing back over 100 past royalty members from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and from 2000 to 2018 for the Stamilk Growers Grand Parade on May 4th. They are in desperate need of convertibles or Jeeps with drivers. According to festival administrator Darcy Christofferson, the festival needs about 40 to 50 convertible-type vehicles. If you have a convertible or Jeep and would like to participate, go to appleblossom.org and fill out the Dignitary Car Driver app. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Moving doesn't have to be back-breaking, stressful work. And I don't want you to make a move that way ever again.
Traditionally, you would rent a truck. You would load up your stuff. You would rent a storage unit. You would transport it. And finally, you would unload your stuff yourself. You don't have to lift a finger. We bring the mobile storage unit to you, we drop it off, then one of our trusted packers can load it for you. We come pick it up and store it securely for you. We bring it back to you. No hassle, no stress.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. With the Washington legislature closing in on its final month, State Senator Brad Hawkins said in the coming weeks, Democrats will begin rolling out their proposed budgets, which almost certainly will include tax increases. With heavy Democratic majorities in both houses, Hawkins told NCWLIFE's Cal Fitzsimmons he's not optimistic there will be anything he can vote for.
I suppose there's a lot of budget stuff coming up, and I'm hoping that next time we talk, we'll have some solid figures to work from on the budget. But what are you seeing preliminarily on that?
Well, it's going to be interesting because a lot of the bills that my Democratic colleagues have advanced have significant cost impacts to the state, and not only do we have some additional challenges when it comes to funding the current maintenance levels of the budget, but funding some of these additional policy priorities that have been proposed. It's going to have a cost, and I think some of the budgets that have already been considered, at least that the governor proposed, contemplate a capital gains tax, an increase in a business occupation tax, real estate taxes that could drive up the cost of home affordability. So I am very concerned about the tax pressure, and I believe once the budgets get unveiled, and the House and the Senate Democratic members will unveil their budgets in the coming weeks, I think that's where we're going to ramp up the conversation about the taxes that are proposed in our state, and certainly I have a lot of concerns with it. It remains to be seen what the budgets are going to propose to do, but I'm not as optimistic this year as I have been in past years that I'll actually be able to vote for the budget this time around.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get to those details, happy first day of spring. That's right, spring sprung between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. Look at that, snow is disappearing, and there we are. NCWLIFE channel, we want to thank Uriah Darby for that fantastic time lapse. The snow's going away, folks, and you can see it as we take a look at our weather window. You can see the snow on the hillsides is disappearing because of all this warm weather we've had, and it certainly is disappearing in both East Wenatchee and in Wenatchee because of all these warm temperatures. Today, another one of those warm days. We thought we might get to 62. I don't know if we'll get there or not. 58 so far unofficially in the Wenatchee area. That's above our normal high temperature of 55 degrees. 34 is where we started out our day, just like yesterday. 36 is the normal low temperature. 70, our record high back in 1960, and our record low in 2002 at 26 degrees. Sunrise 7:04, sunset tonight at 7:13. Let's take a look now what we can expect through the week, into the weekend, and the first part of next week. Tonight, it's going to be a nice one. Clear skies and mild temperatures with lows tonight creeping around that 40-degree mark. You can see some clouds, though, associated with this area of low pressure. That will begin to affect our weather. Not so much for Thursday. We will see some increasing clouds during the day, but tomorrow will be the warmest day that we have seen, going all the way back to October of last year, possibly in the mid-60s. For Friday then, those clouds produce some rain showers as it moves along the coast of Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. That's all from this area of low pressure out in the Pacific. Won't affect us that much during the day, but as it pushes across the state by Friday night, we will see about a 30 to 40% chance of just some light rain showers overnight, mostly cloudy at that time as well. And we're going to stay kind of on the unstable side for, beyond that Saturday and into the first part of next week. For our weekend, mostly cloudy skies. Still a little bit of light shower activity around the state, and Saturday will begin a cool down for us. We're not talking a big cool down, but just enough to get us at normal or even a little bit below normal. Sunday, partly cloudy. We'll still see a cool down on Sunday. You can see, though, not many clouds around. By Monday night, that system kicks another short wave our way, and we'll see a 40, maybe even a 50% chance of rain showers on Monday night. That will clear out quickly, though, as we move into Tuesday. Temperatures with partly cloudy skies will rebound on Tuesday back into the middle 50s. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. 39, our overnight low tonight. Will we reach
reach 65 tomorrow. I don't know if we will or not, but it sure will be a nice day for Thursday. 59 on Friday. Remember that chance for rain overnight Friday into Saturday. We'll stay with just a slight chance for rain in the morning on Saturday and 56. Partly cloudy and cooler for Sunday and 53, 54 for Monday with more rain showers and a few more rain showers for our Tuesday morning. High temperature then at 55. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a good first day of spring. I'm Dan Kuntz filling in for Eric Granstrom. On this Wednesday, the Cowichan Valley Capitals beat the Wenatchee Wild 5-3 in Game 3 of their BCHL playoffs last night in British Columbia. Therefore, they have a 2-1 lead. The Caps scored the game's opening goal in the final minute of the first period. That gave them a 1-0 lead at the intermission. The host team came out and scored the first 2 goals of the second period. All of a sudden, it's 3-0. At that point, Coach Bliss Littler pulled goalie Austin Park, put in Cal Senquist, and guess what? That's when the Wild's comeback began. Art Checker with the call of the Wenatchee Wild Hockey Network. The video courtesy of Hockey TV.
Still tied up in the corner, and we're into our final minute here of the opening period. Puck is into the feet of Gashevsky, and he couldn't find it. And the Capitals score. Brady Lynn found it in the slot. The puck came out of the corner and it was into the boots of Matt Gashevsky, and had he been able to find it, it would have been fine, but he was spinning around. It hit him in the skate and he couldn't locate it. Brady Lynn found it, quickly flung it on net, and the Capitals get on the board first. They lead it 1-0. Then to Tabor, he'll sling it over to the far corner, spinning away. McIntyre wants to center, broken up by Souter. Then a cross shot and a score. Got dug out of the right corner. Barger comes along, and Capitals will chip it out through center. Trevor Grabel to play it for Sasaki. That'll get fluttered along and in and out, bounces across for Gauthier. Gauthier drops it off to Selivanov. He's in, and his shot, and he scores. Face-off is going to be to the left-hand side of Pierce Diamond. There's a shot loose in front, and Souter shoots, and he scores. The shot initially from the right point as Modry tried to power it through traffic, but the rebound sat there at the side of the net. Lucas Souter able to lift it up high under the crossbar. Stands in and across from McIntyre. This is to the right-hand side of the netminder. Puck loose at the side and then shoveled down low by Adams. Gashevsky has it on the backhand, sends it around. Adams tries to wrap around, loose in front, shot, score! there. Nathan Iannone picks the top corner on the sling around. It got shoveled down behind the net, and Brian Adams looked like he was trying to wrap around, but instead he slams it over across for Iannone on the back door. He picks the top corner, and in the final minute here of your second period, the Wild have closed the gap to 1. Throws it out front, steered away back behind the net, and the Wild continue to pressure. Souter over to Grabel. He shoots and he scores. Trevor Grabel has tied it for the Wild. The Wild with incredible sustained pressure in the offensive zone, and Trevor Grabel goes top cheese. And the Wild have erased the 3-0 deficit. This game is even at 3 apiece. That's going to scoot past Cook. He and Selleck race after it on the end boards. Jammed up along the far side wall. Brady Lynn curls his shot through traffic. Slapped home by Selleck. Their first shot on goal of the period that finds the net at 13-10. The Wild net empty as they look for the equalizer. Here's Brandon Cook over on the right side for Gashevsky. He's into the zone. Gashevsky shoots, and a save made. Rebound flung at, but then cleared by the Capitals. Hustling after, it's going to be Brodziak. He'll get to it and finish it off. Brodziak comes along, and final seconds tick away, and that's it.
So the Wild will try the even the series tonight, Game 4, 7 o'clock at the Island Savings Center in British Columbia. Let's take a look at the Les Schwab Prep Soccer scoreboard. From last night, the Eastmont Wildcats traveled to Moses Lake, came away with a nice 4-3 victory over the Chiefs. They're now 2-0 in Big 9 play. And leap off the field of the Apple Bowl, West Valley scored the game's only goal at the 10-minute mark, and they held on for the 1-0 win over the Panthers. It was Wenatchee's first loss of the season and their first game in Big 9 play. And as you see there, Cashmere, no trouble with Okanagan last night. The final was 6-1. High school baseball yesterday. Royals swept a doubleheader from Cashmere, won the opener 5-3, took the nightcap 9-5. And Ephrata had no problems with Cascade 15-2. Les Schwab Prep softball scoreboard, pretty quiet. That's all you got right there. Ephrata edging Cascade 8-5. Tennis Tuesday. West Valley boys shut out Eastmont 7-0. Same score in the girls match. The Rams came out on top over the Wildcats. But let's talk baseball. The Mariners play the opening game of the Major League Baseball series in the wee small hours this morning in Tokyo, and they came out ahead. They came out victorious. The final 9-7. Domingo Santana had a grand slam home run, while Tim Beckham had a great Mariner debut. He went 3 for 3. He had a 2-run home run, scored 3 runs on the mound. Marco Gonzalez, he got the victory. He went 6 innings. He allowed 4 runs, 7 hits, and 4 strikeouts. These two teams will play again tomorrow morning, 2:35. Set your alarm clock. UC Kikochi gets his Major League debut. He'll take on Marco Estrada. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. Happy spring. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host, Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's Learn, Guada TV, Street Talk and Other Stuff, the 12th District, Life with Lisa, and the arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solion Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solion Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.